Where's the divide? Like, how is there a Jets fan versus a Giants fan?
It's
Like,
sort of selected.
divide?
It's sort of selected at random because they play in the same stadium. So it's just who your family members were growing up, or which color you liked better as a kid, or
green versus blue.
Right.
I'm a big Jets fan.
Did you like Phil Simms or Boomer Esiason?
Boomer by a lot.
You know, it's that kind of stuff. It's random.
Boomer Esiason just because he has a sweet name.
He was very popular amongst kids.
So it's a really easy sell.
Because most kids actually wish their name was Boomer. So he resonated.
I'm in that camp. Boomer Phillips, thoughts?
Pretty good. Okay. Cedric, and then in quotes, Boomer Phillips.
Yes. Let's get that graphic changed.
I was a Lawrence Taylor guy when I was a kid, so that's how I became a Giants fan.
Makes sense. He was a pretty good football player. He could really do some things.
Broke a dude's leg on TV.
I don't know if that's good, but I guess that's the thing that he could do. I don't think Robert likes his hand. He's going to 5 now.
Yeah. When it's your weekend, it's just your weekend.
It's true. For Boswell, it's been his weekend more than once.
Yep. Feels like when we had him on camera, the matchups have felt good for him. His sideboard's been good for the matchup. His draws have been solid, you know. Just another day at the office.
For the Boz, it is. Maybe more people will adapt this take on Abzan aggro that Andrew is playing.
Well, his build is so much different than the kind of rank and file builds I feel like we see, because there is so much more emphasis on the curve.
Yes.
And he's not trying to do things like cram a couple wingmate rocks in his deck to have a top end.
Elspeth, too. We see that sometimes as well.
Yeah, well, a single Elspeth, maybe a Nissa. We see a lot of that stuff going on in people's main decks, and Boswell is not messing around with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, some of those stuff in the sideboard, he's got this Planeswalker package of a Sorin, 2 Nissas, and an Ajani on the board. It seems like a package that comes in against like blue-black control, for example.
Another thing to keep in mind here with Boswell leading the pack to the extent that he is, and, good position to win this match potentially. Robert going to 5 cards, though nothing's been determined yet. It does potentially make the records a little bit more generous for what can make the top 8, because Boswell is going to be knocking out players who would otherwise be in contention along the way. There's going to be extra losses at the top tables.
I believe Robert is happy enough that he will keep Sandstorm Citadel and passing the turn over the Boz. The Boz has a tri-land as well, so we'll go back to Robert. Here's a Temple of Silence. Take a look at that top card. See where that will go. Looks like it's maybe moving to the bottom.
But Boswell picking up wins against people who are X and 2 and so forth may make the difference between X and X3 and 1 making it or not.
That card's going to stay on top. We go Boswell's way. Boswell will draw Plains. Windswept Teeth will be sacrificed. Forest or Plains on the way as Boswell goes down to 19. We'll see what his turn 2 play is going to be. Look at himself a Forest. And in classic Boswell fashion, a turn 2 Fleeceman Lion. Nobody does it better.
Turn 1 Sandstorm Citadel.
Yeah.
Turn 2 Heath, just how you want to draw it up.
I want to talk about a day at the office. Here comes the Fleeceman. Elias will go down to 17. Here is a Temple of Silence. Take a look at that top card, Will Boswell. He'll leave it on top for a Shasha Death Dealer and a passing of the turn. Robert will sacrifice his Windswept Heath. Go down to 16. We'll have a Plains or a Forest coming for him. Perhaps a removal spell here, too.
So Boswell with a tight curve here to start off the game, and he's got his top end already accounted for. Siege Rhino and Ajani, Mentor of Heroes, in hand.
Magic players, if you would like to play in our 1 p.m. standard.
And Robert will just draw a card.
Your last call register. Please come up and see me at the Cider Station.
Does have Murderous Cut in hand.
Well, assuming he has a land drop, that's at least something he can do.
Yeah, it's better than nothing. The question is, what creature would he have to kill? That's a really hard part. I mean, that's the thing that's so difficult playing against this Abzan deck. Both those creatures are really good early and late.
Yep.
There's land number 4. It's a case of Koilos. That's a Sorin in hand. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure Sorin's good on this board, though. There's Cut. He's going to take care of the Death Dealer. Boswell will draw. Copy of Manic Influence.
And Boswell's hand is so top-heavy at this point that he's probably happier with that, the way that it played out. Because I don't think he's really looking to dump mana into the Death Dealer if he can avoid it with, Siege Rhino and a Ajani next turn to follow up with if he wants it.
There's the Rhino. The trigger, of course. Elias down 10. This deck's so fascinating to me, Abzan aggro. Just a deck, an aggressive deck. It's not hyper aggressive, but it's aggressive enough, and it's really good early and really good late.
The only thing that would give me pause if I were considering playing this deck in a tournament is I still don't think the Abzan control matchup is very good.
Yeah.
But every other time I'm watching Boswell play, it just feels like deck's got good stuff early on, good stuff late. It's possible to side into a very disruptive build with, a bunch of Thoughtseizes and Duresses if you want that sort of thing.
What he's doing is so powerful every turn, too. Self-inflicted wound, not a bad turn there for Robert. Boswell going to have to lose his Fleecemane line. Take 2 as well. Might be a really good card for the mirror.
Yeah, that card just seems very powerful, reliable removal spell. Good when you're ahead, good when you're behind.
Here comes the Rhino. And it's going to go down to 6. Windswept Heath. We'll bring Boswell down to 19. There is a Forest. We might have ourselves an Ajani Mentor of Heroes, perhaps. Could be Tassiger, too. Looks like Boswell's going to go with the Ajani. An Elevator, of course, going up, because that's the only way that it can go. We'll take a look at the top 4 cards. I have a feeling he's going to take a Bramaz with him. And he will. The rest will go to the bottom.
And I like the Ajani here a lot from Boswell. It puts Robert under a bunch of pressure.
Yep.
Because if Robert can't find a removal spell for the Siege Rhino and ever taps low, Boswell threatens to just give the Siege Rhino +3/+3 and attack for lethal. In the event that Robert is able to answer the Siege Rhino, that's probably his entire turn, and then Andrew can just go back to drawing cards.
It's a rock and a hard place here for
Yeah,
Robert,
he's kind of
for sure.
caught. He's got Robert caught in 2 different directions here, both of which require different responses. And with Robert on 5 cards, it's just hard to imagine him being able to answer both angles of attack.
The 7-power Trampler is no joke either.
Yeah. His hand's either creatures or it's removal spells, and Boswell has him covered both ways.
Here's Sorin. Make a Vampire, pass the turn back. We will see Dramoka's command. Kill the flyer, little pump action from Ajani, that's going to do it. Andrew Boswell is going to win again. Defeats Robert Elias 2-1. Abzan aggro, the mirror, well, goes to the boss, his specialty.
Yep, Robert there on a 5-card hand. Was able to play a competitive game given the circumstances, but Boswell had a good curve early and then a more powerful top end.
He is still leading the pack and destroying everyone that sits across from him. Andrew Boswell, welcome to top 8, my friend.
Yeah, congratulations to him. An opportunity to lock up the first overall seed, depending on the next couple of rounds go. And for Robert, X and 3, still definitely live for top 8.
He's got 2 rounds to go. He wins them both. We'll probably see him in the elimination rounds, depending on how tiebreakers go. So